in Cape Coast, an acute water shortage has hit, especially the city itself and its environs. Residents have been without water for weeks, and the Ghana Water Company is blaming galamsey activity at the Sechehiman water treatment plant for this occurrence. Richard Kwajunyako has been learning a bit more. Here's his report.
These are men who have been hired by the Ghana Water Company to clear the paths and the pumps that have been blocked as a result of the galamsey activities here at Sechehiman. Sechehiman houses the water treatment plant that feeds the Brimsu Waterworks that also supplies water to Cape Coast and its environs. Galamsey activities here goes on unabated, rendering the pumps of the Ghana Water Company faulty. The 340 pumps mean residents of Cape Coast and its environs would suffer water shortage, and truly so, many residents have not had water flow through their taps for weeks, a situation they say has made life unbearable. Chief Manager of the Ghana Water Company, Emmanuel Kofi Opoku, says the company is working feverishly on the 40 pumps to enable them supply water to residents.
We experienced shortage in Cape Coast because of the galamsey activities at Sechehiman. Sechehiman produce and send 70% of the treated water to Brimso. There is an interconnection. So that 70% comes to augment the 3.1 million gallons daily that Brimso produces. And Sechehiman brings 2 million to supply to Cape Coast and its metropolis. But unfortunately, the galamsey activity has made siltation or turbidity very high at Sechehiman. As such, our pumps have all become faulty, the 3 pumps. So it is now that we have arranged with our base workshop, and they have gone to Dallon in Tamale to bring us a decommissioned pump.
The operational cost of the Ghana Water Company has also gone up considerably. Clifford Brymer is the managing director of Ghana Water.
There's the need for us, as much as possible, to help reduce the cost of production, because we are not even meeting our operational costs. And if we increase it again, then you have difficulties. And this is even because there have been some level of improvements. At the beginning of the galamsey, before the fight, it was more serious. That is not even the point. When you treat the water, there's wastes. You bring water there, and 30% of it becomes wastes.
Sanitation and Water Resources Minister Cecilia Abnadapa says the ministry is putting in place strategies to make sure that our water bodies are safe.
You remember from the Praia River, we saw evidence of some galamsey activities. I think they ran away, either they were hinted or they ran away when they saw us. I'm appealing to all of us, especially in these areas that we have our river bodies, to be vigilant, that we should prevent the few greedy people who indulge in these bad and evil practices to stop. If they are known in the area, they should be, the authorities should be alerted. And the MD, we've spoken. So we are going to have a task force to be residents in some of these areas to protect our water bodies.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Company is assuring residents in the Cape Coast metropolis the situation would improve as a result of some interventions put in place. Richard Kwajunyako, JoyNews, Cape Coast.
Now let's learn a little bit more about this from Richard Kwajunyako, who joins us on the phone now. Kwajo, this is a worrying situation, but it's not new. Cape Coast has suffered water shortages many times over the period. Tell us what is different about this particular incident.
Well, just as you indicated, it wasn't new until the intervention at the Sechehiman water treatment plant. That plant was built over the Praia River. So for over 10 years, the situation has improved. But now we're learning of the galamsey activities that has brought this whole matter again, and it's gravely affected many people that live at Kotokra, Batantre, Kawana Pado, Bofiedun, Ula, Elmina, and their areas that rely heavily on the Sechehiman water treatment plant. So people have to walk for kilometers hunting for water as their taps have stopped flowing. People have to carry gallons to nearby places where there is water before getting some for their chores. And for some of the schools and the corporate entities that have also been affected, they have to rely on tanker services before getting water. Now, as I earlier on indicated, the Sechehiman water treatment plant was built on the Pra River in 2008, and this was to solve the perennial water problems the people of Cape Coast and their environs face. And so it pumped 2 million gallons of water every day, and it supplies the Brimsou water treatment plant. So Brimsou water treatment plant gets about 70% of their water from the Setra Himan treatment plant. So now that the Galamsey activities are also increasing by the minute, and that is what has brought all of these things.
Right.
So 3 of the pumps of the Ghana Water Company are faulty now, and they need to be replaced. I've been speaking with the chief manager of the Ghana Water Company, Manuel Opoku, and he says that as a result of the Galamsey activities, filtration has become very difficult, and the turgidity of the water too has increased, and it costs them more to treat the turgid water, and less water is made available for consumption as more of the water goes waste. And so this is really the situation and how the residents here are feeling the pinch.
Right, Kojo, explain to us, how did they link the damage to the pumps directly to Galamsey? What particular substances are they finding in the water that can only be present as a result of Galamsey?
Well, the water is turgid now, so their pumps are unable to pump the water from the Pra River. You know, it's been built on the Pra River, so the river has become very muddy, and it makes it difficult for their machines to draw the water into their system. And so the water, their system is choked, and that is what resulted in the faulty pumps. And so they have hired some men to be clearing that part and the pumps to enable them get a free-flowing water through the system in order for them to serve these areas.
What do we know about the Galamsey activity in that area? Is it on the radar of authorities? Has the operation that has been dealing with Galamsey across the country, do they have a presence in that area?
Yes, I mean, as the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources indicated, when they got to the place, the people started running away with their machines and all of that. They had to chase them, but she does not even know whether they got a hint that there was a tour to the place, and that is why they ran away, or they just saw them and they started running away. So Galamsey activity hasn't ceased on the Pra River. If you travel along the Cape Coast, Commander, Takoradi stretch, the Pra River that flows through that area, the Galamsey activities go on unabated. And so it's not seen, it's rather seen an increase.
Right. Now, it's interesting that the possibility of a tip-off is being raised by the minister, that they may have been informed of the tour, which means that it's likely that these Galamsey operators have sources in government that are tipping them off.
It could be a possibility, and she says that the immediate intervention and the plan, the strategy that her ministry has planned with the Ghana Water Company is to hire people to police the banks of the river towards all these Galamseyers from the site, and she's also encouraging residents to also report people that do the Galamsey activities, because when the repercussions of the activities will not only affect just the people that are around, but will affect the entirety of the people that get served through the treatment plant. And so they should report these activities. For now, that is all that the minister has been able to say concerning that. They are going to make sure that they police the rivers and the water, but the banks of them, so that they can ward off these Galamseyers off the site.
Kojo, what's it going to take to restore the supply of water to Cape Coast? I mean, what is it going to take at this point? Can the damage be reversed? Is it simply a matter of stopping Galamsey, or is there more work needed beyond that?
Yes, now for now, the pumps are faulty. They need to be replaced, and very difficult to come by the pumps. The chief engineer indicated and assured the people here that they are going to get the pumps to decommission the pumps from Tamale, and so they've made the moves, and very soon they are going to see a restoration to the normal supply of the water. But if that is even done, and the Galamsey activities still go on, very soon we will still revert to what we are discussing now.
So basically, restoration of the pumps will restore the volumes of supply, but then to sustain the volumes of supply, we need to stop Galamsey.
Exactly.
Right, Kojo, this is useful stuff. Thank you so much, and we'll keep an eye on that particular evolving situation. That was Richard Kojo Nyako from the Central Region, where water shortage has suddenly become a problem again after at least a decade of them being spared that particular headache. And I can tell you, growing up in Cape Coast, that water shortage can be a serious problem for all communities, with children, parents lining up in front of water tankers just to get water for cooking, fights erupting between respected members of society over water. And that is the potential future of our nation if we don't kick this Galamsey problem out of our country. Right, we have a lot to talk about. Shriponi is raging on, and there is a need for some calm and peace to be restored to that area. We also have to talk about the Office of the Special Prosecutor. It's been in the news for several weeks now as a list of cases that are of interest to the office was leaked. And then there was information about corruption in the Office of the Special Prosecutor, following which one person was reportedly suspended. That also brought the office into even more of the limelight. But today we want to ask a few questions about the first cases to be taken to court by this office. And it seems the two cases have one thing in common: Mahama Ayariga. Why? We'll discuss after this break.